Here I am now, better than before. The open door, where I am now, where I am now. It's
Now, so we talked about radio show, the whole lot of the radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the lady Hinton. I'm Ed, the co-host. We're taking it back none other than this show. I'm the lady Hinton, where I am now. And this is like WWL 1350, WWA. All you have to do is enter whatever this show on the lady Hinton Facebook page, and you can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, church webcast, click and listen live. And now I'm going to introduce some and present others, the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the lady, and a pleasant morning to you.
good morning. This is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
95.3 WPCE 1400 WMPA 88.9 FM.
Facebook Live on it. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And TikTok. I forget about you all. How you doing this morning? Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out. Promise. I tell you what, go over to all our channels and subscribe. And make sure you go to Crystal Records One, CRISTL Records One on YouTube, as well as at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
I tell you what, this is hump day, and I tell you what we have, and we haven't had it for a minute. We have our current job listing.
That's right. You got your current job listing, and guess what? It reads like this: if you need a job, here is some job opening just for you. I want to let you know that the Norfolk Public Library is looking for a school outreach controller worker, and they're also looking for an outreach ambassador.
All right, you said a outreach. Say that again, Miss C. I got to figure out this. The outreach controller worker that's at Norfolk Public Library, and both of these jobs are there. Okay, so we have a philanthropy specialist at the Girl Scouts of the Colonial Coast, and at the YWCA, we have two counselors needed, crisis intervention specialist, residential services assistant, case manager, part-time case manager, victim advocacy manager as well.
First spot is looking for in Virginia is looking for a Virginia birth to 5 specialist, a mixed delivery specialist, and a museum specialist at the Hampton Roads Naval Museum.
All right, visitor services associate needed at Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art. For kids, office administrator needed, addiction prevention specialist, mobility mentor, services assistant, and a family case manager.
Bay Agent is looking for assistant director and a veterans direct care. And also, the Virginia Living Museum is looking for a grant officer.
All right, that grant officer at the Virginia Living Museum, listen to how much they're paying, $40,000 to $44,500. And that's a great job. That's a grant that they have, and you can actually be a recipient of those grants if you're under that umbrella. In Eggleston, program manager, they need a document shredding chief engineer, and assistant director for day services.
And the They also need a supervisor in the laundry service and a unit coordinator, a brain injury service, and they also need a development coordinator at the Hampton Roads Workforce Council.
All right, then. Let's see what else we have. For kids again, assistant services. Did you do that one? Services assistant, youth coach, family case management, mobility mentor, and volunteer specialist girls Scout council of Colonial Coast.
And the Christian Broadcasting Network is looking for a remote contact center representative and a bilingual remote contact center representative.
Absolutely, library associate full time at the Suffolk Library, and aging, they're at the Community Living Program, VDC Fiscal Assistant, VDC Enrollment Specialist, VDC BIT Specialist, Marketing and Communications Specialist, Options Counselor needed.
So if you need a job, there are some of the jobs that's out there for you. Remember that in October, this is October, November, December is coming right around the corner. So, some winter jobs are open, holiday jobs are opening. So you ought to start applying right now for the Home Depots, for Lowe's, and for other special places where they're hiring for now for the winter.
Absolutely. Look, in Virginia, we have the gubernatorial race. Please go out and vote on November 4th, but you can actually vote early up until November the 1st. So we encourage you all to get out there and vote.
Don't forget that when you're casting your vote, the poll places are open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on election day. Anyone in line at 7 o'clock p.m. will be allowed to vote. That's on election day. And where to vote, you may vote. You may look up the poll places or contact the general registrar for more information. And how to vote, just when you're voting in person, you ask to provide an acceptable form and identification at the poll site, and also more if you need more detail, you know where you got to go.
Absolutely. So look, this is FYI's Wednesday segment. What's under the hat? Issues concerning men. So what we're going to do today, FYI segment, our topic is tips to survive a bad economy. Mr. E, the reason I was thinking about this topic here is because we're in the middle, right, in the US of A, of a government shutdown.
Well, we're not in the middle of it. We already done shut down. The government has already shut down, and they've been shut down for about a couple. Not in the middle of a government shutdown. It's shut down.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a government shutdown, and I tell you what, it is not fun for a whole lot of folks. I tell you what, it affects our economy. Affects so many people, but we're hearing more and more about this shutdown. Some people don't even realize necessarily what it is, what it can do, or why we should be concerned. A little bit about shutdown. First of all, government shutdown leads to the temporary closure or reduced operation of non-essential government services. Some federal employees may be furloughed, or temporarily laid off while essential employees continue to work without pay. Who wants to work without pay?
Well, that's what happens when you're in the government. They have a tendency of saying, okay, fine, it's your choice. If you don't want to work, just like some of the government employees today, they're saying they don't want to lose, like the air traffic controllers. The air traffic controllers are saying right now, that's our job. We want to make sure that the people are safe. So, even though there's a shutdown going on now, they said they will continue to work with or without
I
pay.
didn't know, but I heard that on yesterday, and I was like, okay. They do eventually get paid, but also get paid back for what they've done, right?
According to the news, they don't get back pay. They do not get
The
paid.
news.
That's right. According to what your president has said, they're not giving them back pay. doing this shutdown. In other words, the shutdown is supposed to make every company, it's supposed to inconvenience every company, everybody that's depending on folks in the government and high places. And this thing's supposed to affect them. So when you shut down, they said, you don't get the back payback.
Well, it says it affects primarily non-essential federal employees as well as people and businesses that rely on government services. And any non-essential government employees are temporarily furloughed, excuse me, during a shutdown.
And
Temporarily, how long will that last? While essential personnel whose funding is not dependent on annual appropriation bills, such as military service members, law enforcement agents, and air traffic controllers, they continue to work.
they said they will continue to work because they want to go for the safety of the people. It's amazing how folks would take on the responsibility of the country, of the people, and will work. I think that a lot of people are afraid that if they stop working and continue to go with the shutdown, that when they start hiring new people to come back in their places. They said the federal employee classification as accept as in the role whose funding is dependent on the appropriate bill, but who are still required to work during the shutdown. Agencies are legally required to compensate these employees for their work during the shutdown, even if the funds is not immediately available to pay them during the shutdown.
Well, hopefully they will be compensated. I think, like you say, you have to be in a certain category and have a certain job position. But we're going to talk about, tips to survive a bad economy because I'm telling you, even though we talk about federal workers, federal employees, it affects everybody. And, we have some ways of research and found some ways on how to survive. Especially for an unpredictable economy, Ms. Lee, you should focus on building financial resilience through a strong emergency fund, paying down debt, reevaluating your budget, and maintaining a long-term perspective on investments. The goal is to maximize your stability while minimizing emotional and reactionary financial decisions.
And if it affect you, if it's affect you, these are some ways that what you should prepare yourself to do. Create or review your budget. Yeah. Create and review your budget.
Yes.
Know your financial picture. Collect all your financial information, including your bank accounts, investments, debts, and insurance policy. Trim unnecessary expenses.
Yes.
Review your spending pattern to distinguish essential spending, housing, utility, food, from discrete nation calls, streaming service, dining out. Make sure you cut everything that is not important to, in this shutdown so you can have a little piece of change. Don't go out and buy 4, 5 brand new cars, and if you don't need it, while this shutdown, make sure you do what you got to do. Create and review your budget.
Well, this is the day and time where we should not be winging it. I don't know what's in the bank. I don't know what my bills are. I don't keep track of it. Those days are over. You're going to have to learn how to manage your money and steward your finances. For all this, the shakeup or things that are unpredictable, we sometimes you can't, it's not a forecast of what is going to happen in the sense of we don't know that a shutdown is going to, come. How often it comes. We have an idea with history and stuff like that, but we don't know how many days. That's what I'm trying to say. Look at this shutdown. This shutdown is going on for quite some time. They're predicting that it's going to be one of the longest shutdowns. I hope not. But just in case it is, we should be managing all the time. And when these times come, we should be checking out the things that we need to do to adjust. It says build a robust emergency fund. fund. Now, that's something that I'm hoping that people are doing just in case. Establish your buffer. Aim to save 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses in an accessible, high yield savings account. Now, this is not the first time you all have heard you get some money, put it somewhere, put it in the bank, in the house, somewhere, have some savings. Increase your funds during high risk. You are the sole earner in your household or work in an unstable industry. Consider expanding your fund to cover 6 to 9 months of expenses.
And during this government shutdown, during the shutdown that you experience now, make sure. Well, in other words, before the shutdown should come, you should already have 3 to 4 months worth of money set aside for your bills anyway.
Yes.
Manage and prioritize, manage and pay down your debts. Prioritize high interest rate debts. Focus on paying down debts with high interest rates first, like credit cards, and reduce financial strain. To reduce financial strain, make sure and here's what a lot of folks are not doing, essentially, they're not paying their bills on time.
Yes.
One of the things that you got to do is pay them on time. And when you get that idea in your head that you're going to pay 2 bills at one time, that you don't do that. Don't do that. Pay your bills on time. Because if you pay 2 months ahead, they're gonna only look for you to pay that monthly bill for that month. So pay your bills on time.
I like what you said about trimming the unnecessary expenses and going back up. Because that is one of the things that can help you get out of debt. When you take and stop going to restaurants every day, because the restaurants, if they're not high now, I don't know what, food is high, everything, taxes. But there are certain things that we could actually trim away in order to pay down this debt. Put those cigarettes down, that liquor, stop buying a lot of sugars, a lot of things that we don't need, unnecessary going out when you can cook. I mean, those dollars add up where you can go ahead and you can move away debt. And it says also to avoid taking on new debt. Just like you were saying, don't go out there and buy that car yet. It's not time. You don't have the money for it.
And if you're going through a financial crunch, if your money is funny and your change is strange and you're going through a financial crunch, you don't know where the money gonna come from, you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills, all you got to do is contact your lender, contact folks if you need to, and let them know ahead of time that you are facing financial hardship. Talk to your lenders about possible payment adjustments or refinancing options. Make sure you take the time out and talk to folks. Don't sit there and think it's going to fall out the sky. Them folks want their money, and they don't care whether or not you in crunch or not. They don't care whether or not the government is having a problem. They want their money.
I wanted to mention that maybe you got to go out there and get a second job. You may have to, everybody needs to pitch in. You may want to take it a border. You need to do something. You got to be creative, and you've got to supplement that income when that money you got to do something. You just can't sit back and now let's see. I don't know if you don't answer to this because I don't know it either. But unemployment in this time.
Well, unemployment, if the government, since the government is shut down, you can make sure you can call ahead of time to see if your unemployment check has been delayed or you don't get one. Or with unemployment, some people are not hiring because they're so busy, they're tight with looking at their budget as well. A lot of people may not never know that some of these companies are looking at the tariff and looking at buying hamburger, buying meat. A lady bought a big old pack of hamburger the other day, cost her $32 for a big old pack of hamburger, ground beef, that she, was using. Now, you said something in reference to Uber, in reference to
Second job.
get a second job. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, these folks out here today has picked that Uber up. They
Mhm.
are flying with it because the government really don't want you in the stores, and they trying to make everything as mobility and as possible. When you look at the stores today, you can call in and other folks can make groceries for you and deliver it to your home.
Is
Stop.
it free?
It's not free. There is a cost. Now, just like a lot of people also, if you have paid close attention to, is your debit cards, your credit cards, your cards that you get for food and out there at these racks, Taco Bell. Remember, they are not worth what you put them on. If you got a debit card to go to Taco Bell and it's $25, right then and there is a chip coming off the top.
Yes.
20% of your card has already been set aside for a tip for Taco Bell. So that if you got a 25% gift card and you're taking it to Taco Bell, remember, take some money in your pocket when you go.
Well, I tell you what, those are things that you can get out, put out the way now. What you call it? We talk about a second job, this, but those people that are Ubering, they, like you said, they are paying a cost. That's money that you can put in your pocket and go and get it yourself.
That's right.
You're going to pay the price to deal with Uber, but people are doing Uber. They are also working with these agencies and things like that. And hey, you may have to do that. Something to supplement. Look, you can approach your investing with long-term, low-risk strategy. Maintain your investment strategy. I'm telling you, avoid panic selling. Don't go run and say, "Oh, the market's getting ready to jump down." Let me tell you something about the market and investing. It is a roller coaster ride, but it's also longevity. It's a thing of you, it will pay off in the long run, but you've got to be able to experience the highs and the lows. Selling investments during a market downturn locks in losses. It causes you to miss out on eventual recovery. Sticking to a long-term plan is a more reliable strategy. Keep your investments diversified. Spread your investments across different asset classes, such as stocks, bonds, and real estate, to help minimize risk. I assure you, it's a roller coaster ride. I'm telling you, during the pandemic, talking things flipping. But there is also recovery. I know from the recovery, and sometimes the recovery is awesome. You're going to have to, when you're in that market and maintaining your investments, you've got to be brave. It's not for the faint of heart at all.
They also say look for low risk opportunities. Consider safe haven assess. Allocate a potential of your portfolio to stable your investment like government bonds or money market funds or to balance out your velocity. Velocity. Stay liquidated.
Yes, stay with
Validation.
it.
Yeah, that word. Volatility. That's tongue tied.
You say stay liquid.
That's right. Stay liquid. Keep some
Well,
of your wealth in cash or
that's a
easily
good
accessible
point.
liquid investment to act quickly on new opportunities or unexpected expenses.
Minister E, I'm trying to tell you that people need to have some kind of liquid cash because guess what? We're living in a technology. We're living in an age where if things shut down, on our computers and things like that, that's where our money is like you said, in the debits in the other cards. We're online with everything, and if we all of a sudden are shut down, as far as technology is concerned, where are we going to get money? You need to have some type of cash somewhere. what do you call those boxes or at the post office, or somewhere in a hole in the wall in a safe, some money somewhere to get to just in case. Make sure you have that liquid money. Those things are some things in our economy that can be unpredictable, like things crashing and banks crashing and credit unions crashing. And you can't get your money from no.
When everything else fails, your cards are going down the drain and your debts are behind, keep a little cash in your pocket. Cash will never die. Cash will continue to spend, whether or not a lot of people are continue don't want to accept cash. I went to a car wash the other day, and I was washing my car, getting my car clean inside and out, and I had cash. And the folk down at this car wash told me
No
that
more.
we're not accepting cash.
Absolutely.
I said, do you accept tips in cash? Yeah, the drivers accept the people that's tending to your car. They will accept the cash. I said, well, if you accept the cash in that, for a tip, you will accept the cash, or cash in the
Uh-huh.
register. And I think that they done gone to the left, that they're going to lose a lot of business because a lot of people are not carrying cash. They're carrying cash and going back to carry cash and not carrying cards, like talking about it, because now that we're in this shutdown, we're getting high interest rates. They're trying to do what they got to do, stay away from paying those high debts and income. See, a lot of folks want you to go and spend your card, put it on your card, put it on your card, put it on your card. Listen to me. Pay in cash. Go back to old fashioned way and take a pocket full of cash with you when you go and leave those cards alone until you get out of this shutdown.
Well, legal credit card loans, especially high interest rates. But you're going to have to do something in this economy. It is shaky. It is not dependable. You never know when, what, or how, whether it's technology that's going to be threatened, or banks, or jobs and things like that. You're going to have to try to secure your income, secure your money, manage it, look at it, keep your eyeballs on that money. You're going to have to diversify your income streams, like I just mentioned. Consider exploring a side job or a side hustle to create additional cash flow, and reduce reliance on a single source of income. Keep career documents ready, even if you feel secure in your job. Have an up-to-date resume and maintain your professional network in case of layoff. Seek professional guidance and community support.
That's one of the greatest things you need to do. If you don't understand money marketing, seek some professional guidance. Go and find somebody that can help you, so you know how to manage your money. You know the value of the dollar. You know what you need to do, what you need to get rid of. A lot of people like to buy homes, but when you get to that realtor and get before the banks and you want to purchase a home, they're going to ask you all these questions about your credit history, your credit card. Now, here's another thing that you got to understand, that there are hackers out there too. You might say, I'm not gonna pay that bill. I don't care what they say. Do something about it. Do something about it. Seek professional guidance. I had somebody to hack me on some cell phones, and I said to myself that I'm not gonna worry about it because I didn't do it until I got not a garnish, but I got a letter to come to court for somebody else's mistake. So what I had to do in order for me not to be involved in it, I had to go down to the police department. Yes, go down to your police department or your financial institute and file a police report. Like the police don't have nothing else to do. File a police report for fraud. That's all that is fraudulent. Make sure you go to your bank. Now, Naval Federal has been in a lot of fraudulent battles. But don't get it twisted. They do call you. They said we don't call you. Yes, they do. They do call you if you're behind in your credit card. They want to know if anything going wrong, that they can assist you. Listen, go down to your bank institute and let them know. Hey, look, this something ain't right. Consult financial expert. If you are unsure about your financial footing, consider speaking with a financial advisor to create a personalized plan. And also, one of the greatest things to do, stay calm.
Absolutely. Don't wing it. Get help if you need. Get another job. Get educated. And I tell you what, make sure you hold on because I tell you it's on the roller coaster ride with this economy and stuff like that. But also stay prayerful. But look, we're going to see you on Friday. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support.
So the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the FYI radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda Hinton. I'm Ed the co-host. Welcome to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on all social media platforms and on your local station. Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye now.
All right, all right. It's been a good day. Look, I'm telling you, we are living in a time where things are so unpredictable. And if you all, would make sure you take some of these tips and make sure you think about it. If you have found yourself in crises, or if you have found yourself, not managing, stewarding like you should, get it together because it's not going to get any better if you don't work on things getting better for yourself. We got some upcoming shows, hot topics with Yolanda Hinton. If you all have any hot topic suggestions, please inbox us, message us, and let us know. Hey, these are some things that we would like to hear you all, or we would like to join. A lot of people wanted to join the chat. Eventually, be able to, especially on our After Dark show, you all will be pulled in and be able to talk to me directly or us directly. But we're working on those things. But anyway, we want you to join us for our After Dark show, which is on all social media platforms at 6 p.m. We have cryptocurrency, money, and more. We have our anti-bullying. This month is anti-bullying month. I will be talking about that on Friday. Relationships, 2025. Chris Hinton with real estate. Mr. E is around the town community news and events. Look, don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe. And don't forget, Mr. E has the information on what you need to do to be a special guest intern or sponsor.
If you'd like to be a special guest, sponsor, or intern of the Most Talked About Radio Show, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to inbox and our Facebook page, FYI Facebook page, or Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton Facebook page, or whatever, and let us know that you'd like to be a special guest sponsor. Call 757-714-7861.
Okay, so look, Friday I'm going to try to get you all to join me on TikTok. We'll talk a little bit more after the show and look forward to that. But look, you all be blessed. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here on Fun Friday. 2 up, 2 down. What's the thing? What's the cliche? 2 up, 2 down, and what else?
Yeah. Bye.